Karl Heisenberg is easily the smartest and strongest lord of them all, with the life's mission to take down Mother Miranda and free himself from her grasp. All he ever wanted was to be free and live his own life. So sit back and get comfortable as we unpack the sadistic backstory of Karl Heisenberg. So without further ado, let's get into it. What we know of Karl's childhood is little more than nothing, but we do know he lived a relatively normal life until the age of 12, and he was the youngest member of the noble Heisenberg family, which helped found the village alongside the noble Dimitrescu, Moreau, and Beneviento families. At the age of 12 years old, however, he was lured and kidnapped by the village's leader, Mother Miranda, and used as a test subject for Cadeau experiments, which mostly failed thanks to his body's near-perfect immune system, with even Miranda briefly touching on how he was the most resilient and difficult to experiment upon. This could give us an explanation as to why he is the only lord with no physical change whatsoever. She did, however, manage to infect him, and when she did, the results were shocking. Karl was given electric organs which were connected to the nervous system, therefore passing electricity throughout the entire body and granting him the power of magnetism. This splendid gift that Mother Miranda would give to Karl would still not make up for what she has done by kidnapping him from his family and ripping his entire life right out of his hands. That being the reason why, among the lords of the four houses, Heisenberg was the only one who held a grudge against Miranda due to her own selfish desire to revive her late daughter at the expense of the villagers, and how she saw her family as nothing more than experiments. As such, he secretly planned a rebellion to get his freedom back, building an army of cyborgified reanimated corpses and hoping to use Rose's latent powers to defeat Miranda. At one point, he even tried to persuade Ethan to join him, but Ethan refused upon Heisenberg revealing his plan to weaponize Rose. According to sources, Heisenberg rarely strayed from his family's factory, preferring to hole himself up in its walls. Heisenberg first met Ethan as he ventured into Castle Dimitrescu, encountering him in a chamber before the castle. He noted that Ethan was an outsider and that Mother Miranda would like him, before impaling him with a metal bar and encasing him in scrap metal. Afterwards, Heisenberg dragged Ethan to a meeting with Mother Miranda and the other three house lords. At one point, he told Angie and Moreau to stop talking before belittling with Lady Dimitrescu and making his case to Miranda to decide Ethan's fate. Miranda ultimately decided Ethan's fate was in Heisenberg's hands, but Dimitrescu protested, to which he responded by insulting her further, before Miranda called for silence. He proceeded to put on a show for the lords, forcing Ethan to run through the mines and evade any ever-increasing number of likings, before finally subjecting him to a large grinder to kill him. However, Ethan escaped unharmed. Almost a full day later, after Ethan had already killed Dimitrescu, Beneviento, and Moreau, Heisenberg contacted him through a television screen on two separate occasions, once to direct him to his flask containing a piece of Rose, and again to lead Ethan to his factory. After Ethan discovered Heisenberg's wall full of crossed-out pictures of the other house lords and Mia, Heisenberg made his presence known to Ethan and told him to sit down. After forcing Winters to comply, Heisenberg revealed to him that Miranda had been using him to kill each of the house lords one by one with the intention to replace them as Miranda's sole enforcer. Knowing that he was the next intended fight, Heisenberg instead proposed that they work together to kill Miranda, using the revived Rose as a weapon. When Ethan refused, Heisenberg gave him one last chance to accept. When Ethan responded that he'll take his chances, a disappointed Heisenberg dropped him into a hole to be killed by the storm, but Ethan manages to escape from it. Despite Heisenberg's hopes that Ethan would no longer bother him, he came back and exited the factory through the use of a machine that Heisenberg had created and Chris Redfield had prepared and entrusted to him. Angered that he continued to challenge him, but willing to fight nonetheless, the two engaged in combat, with Heisenberg mutating inside the metal apparatus that he had created, therefore becoming a massive cybernetic creature. Throughout the battle, Heisenberg continually taunted Ethan, prematurely claiming victory and ridiculing his attempts to kill him multiple times. The battle continued until the explosives that Chris had planted detonated inside the factory, destroying it entirely and all the machines that lay within. Outraged at the loss of his factory and army, Heisenberg continued to fight Ethan with vigor until he created a whirlwind of metal, lifting him up into the air and attempting to kill him one last time. When Ethan truly thought his fate was sealed, he looked over and saw the machine Chris gave him earlier. Going in for the grab, he got a hold of it and launched a missile at Heisenberg, killing him once and for all. Heisenberg, knowing he lost the battle, shouted out one last time that he needed to kill Miranda, but it was already too late for him as he was killed in a giant explosion, leaving only his crystallized remains left behind. Well, there you have it, guys, the full backstory of Karl Heisenberg. And I'm sorry if the audio in this video is all over the place. I switched microphones mid-making the video, and the one I'm using right now will be my permanent microphone. And yeah. Also, tell me who I should do next for these backstories. Since I finished up all the lords, maybe Ethan? Or should I go with the bigger character that'd be a longer video, like Leon? Tell me in the comments below who you would like to see, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Bagels Battle!